Have you ever felt that persistent, nagging sense of dissatisfaction, no matter what you achieve? You finally reach a goal, get that promotion, buy that new house. And yet, a subtle emptiness lingers. Does acquiring more ever genuinely, lastingly fill that void? What if the very thing our society constantly tells us will bring happiness, accumulating wealth and possessions, is actually a significant obstacle to finding true, enduring fulfillment? There is a practical, powerful philosophy with practices that allows us to cultivate a deep peace of mind, independent of financial wealth. Today, we will discuss Stoicism. We're bombarded with messages equating financial success with overall well-being and personal worth. This constant pressure fuels stress, anxiety, and a relentless cycle of comparing ourselves to others, perpetually striving for more, yet never feeling truly satisfied. Stoicism emerged in the bustling, often chaotic world of ancient Greece and Rome, a time of great uncertainty, political upheaval, and social inequality. Its central focus was on developing inner resilience, finding tranquility not in external circumstances, but within the depths of one's own character. One of Stoicism's most renowned practitioners, Seneca, was an extraordinarily wealthy Roman statesman, advisor to emperors, and a celebrated playwright. Yet, despite his immense fortune and influence, he recognized that true, unshakable happiness could never be purchased or acquired through external means. The pursuit, by the vast majority of people, of happiness through external gains such as wealth is one of the oldest pursuits of mankind. Many of us seek to be comfortable, and for others to look up to us. By the end of this video, you'll understand precisely how to apply core Stoic principles to cultivate profound happiness and unwavering inner peace, regardless of your financial situation. You'll learn how to liberate yourself from the societal trap that equates money with happiness. We'll uncover the surprising, compelling connections between Stoicism and modern psychological research, revealing scientific evidence that validates this ancient wisdom, demonstrating its enduring relevance in the 21st century. And we'll explore a powerful, advanced Stoic practice, amor fati, that goes far beyond simply accepting adversity, teaching us to actively embrace even the most challenging circumstances as opportunities for profound growth and self-discovery. We will even see how this philosophy, though it teaches a form of radical self-reliance, actually encourages a deeper connection with others by cultivating authentic relationships based in mutual understanding and service. You might be thinking, this sounds incredibly idealistic, perhaps even unrealistic. Can a philosophy developed thousands of years ago truly help me navigate the intense financial pressures and complexities of modern life? It is natural to have doubts, because most people simply follow the societal programming without ever questioning it. Many of us feel trapped in an endless cycle of wanting more, constantly chasing the next promotion, the next bigger purchase, the next fleeting pleasure, desperately hoping it will finally bring the lasting satisfaction we crave. It is very common to feel that one cannot be happy without money, especially if one is in a difficult financial situation, or even if one just believes they are in such a position. So let's explore how Stoicism offers a practical, actionable, and surprisingly relevant framework for breaking free from this pervasive, ultimately self-defeating mindset and cultivating genuine, enduring happiness, starting today. We've established that the relentless pursuit of wealth, as a primary source of happiness, often leads to a paradoxical sense of emptiness and dissatisfaction. Stoicism offers a powerful alternative, a path to genuine fulfillment that is independent of external circumstances. But how, practically, do we begin to cultivate this inner resilience, this freedom from the tyranny of financial worries? The key, the very foundation of Stoic freedom, lies in understanding what the Stoics called the dichotomy of control. Now, let's delve deeper into this foundational concept. The dichotomy of control at its core is a simple yet profound distinction. We must differentiate between what is truly within our power and what is not. Within our power are our judgments, our intentions, our actions, essentially, our internal responses to the world. Everything else, everything external, including wealth, health, reputation, and the actions of others, lies outside our direct control. Think about it. You can strive for financial success, you can work diligently, you can make wise investments, but you cannot guarantee a specific outcome. Market crashes, unexpected job losses, sudden illnesses, these are all possibilities that lie beyond our absolute command. Clinging to the illusion that we can control these external factors is a recipe for anxiety, frustration, and ultimately, unhappiness. It's like trying to hold water in a sieve. The tighter you grasp, the more it slips through your fingers. Consider the life of Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. Born a slave in Hierapolis, Phrygia, he endured unimaginable hardship and physical limitations. He had no control over his circumstances, his status, or the cruelty of his master. Yet despite these external challenges, Epictetus cultivated profound inner freedom and became a renowned teacher, influencing generations with his wisdom. His teachings centered on this very principle, focusing on what we can control: our responses, our judgments, our character, and accepting with equanimity what we cannot. How often do we get caught up in anxieties about things we cannot truly control? The stock market's fluctuations, a company's downsizing, a competitor's actions, these are all external factors. We can influence them, certainly, through our efforts and choices, but we cannot dictate them. Understanding the dichotomy of control is crucial because it liberates us from the constant stress of trying to manage the unmanageable. It allows us to redirect our energy and focus toward what truly matters: our internal state, our character, our virtue. When we relinquish the need to control external outcomes, we gain a sense of peace and resilience that is unshakable, even in the face of adversity. This isn't about passivity or resignation. It's about intelligent action. It's about focusing our efforts where they can have the most impact on ourselves. To help solidify this concept, try this simple exercise. Take out a journal and create 2 columns. In the first column, list things you believe you can control. Be honest with yourself. In the second column, list things you clearly cannot control. Now, critically reevaluate the first column using the Stoic framework. Are those things truly under your absolute control, or are they merely things you can influence? You'll likely find that the list of things you truly control is much shorter than you initially thought. This realization is the first step towards Stoic freedom. But if external things like money don't bring lasting happiness, what does? If striving for wealth isn't the path to genuine fulfillment, where do we find it? The Stoics had a clear and unequivocal answer: virtue. For the Stoics, virtue is not simply being good in a vague, moralistic sense. It is the only true good, the sole source of lasting happiness and fulfillment. It's an internal strength, a state of character, that is entirely within our control and cannot be taken away by external circumstances. The Stoics identified 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Wisdom is the ability to discern truth from falsehood, to make sound judgments based on reason and understanding. It's about seeing the world clearly, without the distortions of emotion or bias. Justice is about treating others fairly and equitably, acting with integrity and upholding moral principles, even when it's difficult or disadvantageous. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to face adversity, hardship, and even danger with resilience and determination. It's about doing what is right, even when it's uncomfortable or risky. Temperance is about moderation and self-control, avoiding excess and pursuing a balanced life. It's about mastering our desires and impulses, rather than being ruled by them. Now, let's consider how these virtues apply specifically to our relationship with finances and career. Wisdom, in a financial context, means making sound decisions based on careful planning and reason, not impulsive spending or risky investments driven by greed or fear. It's about understanding the true value of things, distinguishing between needs and wants, and avoiding the trap of materialism. Justice means treating others fairly in all our business dealings, whether it's our employees, our clients, or our competitors. It's about paying fair wages, honoring contracts, and conducting ourselves with honesty and integrity, even when it might be financially advantageous to do otherwise. Courage in the face of financial challenges means facing setbacks with resilience, not despair. It's about persevering through difficult times, learning from mistakes, and adapting to changing circumstances without losing sight of our values. Temperance means avoiding excessive spending and the relentless pursuit of more. It's about finding contentment with what we have, practicing gratitude, and resisting the societal pressures that equate material possessions with happiness. It is, put simply, mastering your relationship with money instead of it mastering you. Cultivating these virtues is not a passive endeavor. It requires conscious effort and consistent practice, but the rewards are immense. When we live virtuously, we develop an inner strength and peace that is independent of external circumstances. We are no longer tossed about by the waves of fortune, vulnerable to the whims of the market or the actions of others. Our happiness becomes an internal possession, a treasure that cannot be stolen or diminished. This is the true freedom that Stoicism offers, a freedom from the anxieties and insecurities that plague those who seek happiness in external things. But how do we build this resilience, this appreciation for what we have, especially when faced with the inevitable challenges and setbacks of life? One powerful Stoic practice, often misunderstood, provides a key: negative visualization. We'll explore this and the surprising way it can increase our gratitude next. But how do we build this resilience, this appreciation for what we have, especially when faced with the inevitable challenges and setbacks of life? One powerful Stoic practice, often misunderstood, provides a key: premeditatio malorum, or negative visualization. Now, this isn't about dwelling on negativity or succumbing to pessimism. It's quite the opposite, actually. Our natural inclination, understandably, is to avoid thinking about unpleasant possibilities. We push away thoughts of job loss, financial hardship, or anything that threatens our sense of security. We construct elaborate mental defenses to keep these anxieties at bay. But the Stoics understood something profound. This avoidance actually increases our fear and makes us more vulnerable to suffering when adversity inevitably strikes. Premeditatio malorum, in its essence, is the practice of realistically contemplating potential misfortunes, including financial loss. It's about mentally preparing ourselves for the possibility of setbacks, not to wallow in fear, but to diminish its power. It's a controlled exposure to the anxieties we typically suppress. The purpose isn't to induce anxiety, but to reduce it by robbing future misfortunes of their sting. It allows us to appreciate the present moment, to recognize the fragility of our circumstances, and to cultivate a sense of gratitude for what we currently possess. Think of it as a mental rehearsal, a way of strengthening our inner resilience before we actually need it. Consider Seneca, the Roman Stoic philosopher, statesman, and dramatist. He frequently contemplated losing his wealth, his position, and even his freedom. He imagined exile, poverty, and public disgrace, not as a masochistic exercise, but as a way to prepare himself mentally and emotionally for any eventuality. He understood that fortune is fickle, that external circumstances can change in an instant. By mentally rehearsing these potential losses, he diminished their power over him. He cultivated an inner fortress, a sense of peace and acceptance that was independent of his external circumstances. Now, let's try a brief guided meditation. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a potential financial setback. Perhaps it's a significant unexpected expense, a job loss, or an investment that goes sour. Don't dwell on the fear or panic, but simply observe the situation. Acknowledge the possibility. Remind yourself that such events are part of life, that they are not inherently catastrophic. Now, consider how you would respond. What resources would you draw upon? What actions would you take? What inner strengths would you cultivate? And finally, open your eyes and reflect on your current situation. Appreciate what you have right now. This isn't about wallowing in imagined misfortune. It's about cultivating a deeper appreciation for the present and reducing the fear of an uncertain future. This is very different than the uncontrolled, spiraling negative thoughts that often plague us. Those thoughts are fueled by avoidance and lack of preparation. Negative visualization, on the other hand, is a deliberate, controlled practice that builds resilience. The paradoxical effect of negative visualization is that it reduces our fear of financial loss. By facing these potential setbacks in our minds, we make them less terrifying. We rob them of their power to shock and paralyze us. We realize that even if we were to lose everything, we would still possess our inner resources, our reason, our virtue, our ability to choose our response. This practice also fosters a deep appreciation for what we do have. When we contemplate the possibility of loss, we are more likely to cherish the present moment, to be grateful for the simple things in life: our health, our relationships, our opportunities. We become less attached to material possessions, recognizing their impermanence and their limited ability to bring lasting happiness. We shift our focus from external validation to internal strength. It's about mental preparation, not pessimism. It's about recognizing that we can't control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. We can choose to meet adversity with courage, resilience, and a deep appreciation for the present moment. But if our external circumstances don't ultimately determine our happiness, how does our interpretation of those events shape our experience? This brings us to a core tenet of Stoicism, the power of perception. The Stoics emphasized relentlessly that our perception of events, not the events themselves, determines our happiness. External circumstances, including financial ones, are fundamentally neutral. It's our judgments, our interpretations, that give them emotional weight. Think about that for a moment. The event itself, losing a job, experiencing a market downturn, facing an unexpected bill, is simply a set of facts. It's our evaluation of those facts that creates our emotional response. We label it as disastrous, unfair, or catastrophic, and that's what generates the suffering. This is a crucial distinction. It separates the objective reality from our subjective experience. Now, here's where things get really interesting, and where many people misunderstand Stoicism. It's not about denying the reality of hardship or pretending that everything is okay when it's not. It's about recognizing that our initial emotional reaction is often based on automatic, unexamined judgments. It's about choosing to reframe our perception, to look at the situation from a different perspective, to find the potential for growth and learning even in adversity. Let's say you lose your job. Your immediate reaction might be fear, panic, and a sense of failure. But what if you reframed it? What if you saw it as an opportunity to learn new skills, to pursue a different career path, or to reevaluate your priorities? What if you saw it as a chance to strengthen your resilience, to test your resourcefulness, and to discover hidden strengths you didn't know you possessed? Or consider an investment that goes bad. Instead of dwelling on the loss, you could view it as a lesson in risk management, a chance to learn from your mistakes, and a reminder that financial markets are inherently unpredictable. An unexpected expense, a chance to practice resourcefulness, to appreciate what you have, and to reevaluate your spending habits. This isn't about putting a positive spin on everything. It's about adopting a realistic and empowering perspective, actively managing our perceptions through practices like negative visualization and reframing allows us to cultivate inner peace regardless of our financial situation. It's not about denying the challenges. It's about choosing our response to them. It's about recognizing that we have the power to shape our internal experience, even when we can't control the external world. This connects directly back to the dichotomy of control and negative visualization. We prepare for what we can't fully control by managing our internal response. We accept the possibility of adversity, but we choose to meet it with courage, wisdom, and a commitment to virtue. This is the essence of Stoic resilience. How can we cultivate a more resilient and accepting mindset, aligning ourselves with the natural order of things, including the impermanence of wealth? The answer lies in a concept central to Stoic philosophy: living in accordance with nature. The Stoics believe that true happiness and fulfillment come from living in accordance with nature. This might sound a bit abstract, but it's actually a very practical and profound concept. Now, they didn't just mean spending more time outdoors, although that's certainly a beneficial practice. They were referring to something much deeper. They meant aligning ourselves with both human nature and the nature of the universe. Human nature, according to the Stoics, is fundamentally rational and social. We are endowed with the capacity for reason, for virtue, for cooperation, and for contributing to the common good. Living in accordance with human nature means cultivating these qualities, striving to become the best versions of ourselves, and fulfilling our roles as members of society. But there's another dimension to this: the nature of the universe. The Stoics recognize that the universe is in a constant state of flux, of change and impermanence. Everything is subject to birth, growth, decay, and death. This includes our material possessions, our financial status, and even our own lives. Accepting this natural order, this inherent impermanence, is key to tranquility. It's about recognizing that we are part of a larger whole, a vast interconnected web of cause and effect. We are not isolated individuals, but integral parts of the cosmos. And financial fluctuations, economic ups and downs, are simply part of this larger cosmic dance. They are neither good nor bad in themselves. They are simply part of the natural flow of events. Here's a practical exercise. Spend some time in nature. Observe the natural cycles, the changing seasons, the growth and decay of plants, the ebb and flow of tides. Reflect on the impermanence of all things. Consider your own place in this vast, interconnected web. Recognize that just as the seasons change, so too will your financial circumstances. There will be times of abundance and times of scarcity. This is the natural order of things. This isn't about passivity or resignation. It's about aligning ourselves with reality. It's about accepting what we cannot control and focusing our energy on what we can: our own character, our own actions, our own responses to the world. Living in accordance with nature fosters acceptance of financial uncertainty. It reduces our attachment to material possessions, recognizing that they are temporary and ultimately fleeting. It promotes a sense of inner peace that is independent of external circumstances. But we're just scratching the surface. There's a growing body of evidence from a surprising source that validates these ancient Stoic principles. What modern psychology is now revealing provides stunning confirmation of the wisdom of the Stoics, and we'll explore that next. But we're just scratching the surface. There's a growing body of evidence from a surprising source that validates these ancient Stoic principles. What modern psychology is now revealing provides stunning confirmation of the wisdom of the Stoics. Fields like positive psychology, the scientific study of happiness and well-being, and neuroscience, the study of the brain, are uncovering empirical evidence that directly supports many of the core tenets of Stoicism. Think about concepts like hedonic adaptation, mindfulness, and cognitive reframing. These aren't just buzzwords. They're scientifically validated phenomena that echo the Stoic understanding of the human condition. Now, let's delve into some specific examples. One of the most compelling findings is the research on hedonic adaptation. This is the tendency for humans to quickly return to a relatively stable level of happiness despite major positive or negative life events, including financial gains. Remember that lottery winner example from earlier. Studies consistently show that, after an initial spike in happiness, lottery winners often return to their baseline level of well-being, and sometimes even experience decreased happiness due to the stresses and complications that come with sudden wealth. This directly challenges the common belief that money buys happiness. It reveals the futility of pursuing lasting fulfillment through external acquisitions. The hedonic treadmill, as it's often called, keeps us constantly chasing the next pleasure, the next purchase, the next financial milestone, only to find that the satisfaction is fleeting. But Stoicism, with its emphasis on internal virtue and acceptance, offers a powerful antidote to this cycle. Then there's the research on gratitude. Positive psychology has demonstrated a strong correlation between gratitude and overall well-being. People who regularly practice gratitude, focusing on what they have rather than what they lack, tend to be happier, more resilient, and more satisfied with their lives. This aligns perfectly with the Stoic practice of appreciating the present moment and recognizing the impermanence of external things, including wealth. And what about neuroscience? Studies on mindfulness and meditation, practices that have deep roots in Stoic philosophy, show that they can actually rewire the brain, reducing stress, improving emotional regulation, and enhancing focus. These practices cultivate the very self-awareness and emotional control that the Stoics championed as essential for living a virtuous and fulfilling life. So, the evidence is clear. Stoicism isn't just an ancient philosophy. It's a way of life that is supported by modern science. The implications of this are profound. It means that the path to lasting happiness, to true inner peace, doesn't lie in the accumulation of wealth or the pursuit of external validation. It lies in cultivating inner resilience, practicing gratitude, managing our perceptions, and living in accordance with our rational nature. It means that the tools for achieving a fulfilling life are within our reach, regardless of our financial circumstances. It's a powerful and empowering message, validated not just by ancient wisdom, but by cutting-edge scientific research. But there's a level of acceptance that goes far beyond even what we've discussed, a radical shift in perspective that represents a pinnacle of Stoic practice. Amor fati, loving your fate. This isn't just about gritting your teeth and bearing hardship. It's not about passive resignation or pretending that everything is okay when it's not. Amor fati, a Latin phrase meaning love of fate, is about actively embracing everything that life throws at us, including challenges, setbacks, and even financial difficulties, as necessary and integral parts of our journey. It's about seeing these experiences not as obstacles to be overcome, but as opportunities for growth, for learning, for deepening our understanding of ourselves and the world. Think of it as a radical form of acceptance, a complete surrender to the natural order of things. Now, this doesn't mean that we shouldn't strive to improve our circumstances or take action to address injustice. It doesn't mean passively accepting harm or oppression. It means finding meaning and purpose even in the face of suffering, recognizing that adversity can be a powerful catalyst for transformation. Consider the extraordinary example of Viktor Frankl, an Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl recounts his harrowing experiences in concentration camps, where he witnessed unimaginable suffering and brutality. Yet, even in those horrific circumstances, he he found meaning and purpose. He observed that those who were able to find something to live for, some sense of meaning, were more likely to survive. Frankl developed logotherapy, a form of psychotherapy based on the idea that the primary human drive is not pleasure, as Freud believed, but the search for meaning. His experience and his subsequent work is a testament to the power of amor fati, the ability to find meaning and purpose even in the darkest of times. Or consider the stories of countless individuals who have faced major financial setbacks, job losses, business failures, economic downturns, and emerged stronger, wiser, and more resilient. These individuals often report that, while the experience was difficult, it ultimately led to profound personal growth, a reevaluation of their priorities, and a deeper appreciation for the things that truly matter. They didn't just tolerate their fate, they embraced it as an opportunity for transformation. Let's say, for example, a business venture you've poured your heart and soul into collapses. The initial reaction, naturally, is likely to be disappointment, frustration, perhaps even despair. But with an amor fati mindset, you could reframe this experience. You could see it as a lesson in risk management, an opportunity to learn from your mistakes, a chance to develop new skills, or even a redirection towards a path that is ultimately more fulfilling. It's not about denying the pain or the difficulty. It's about finding the potential for growth within the experience. Amor fati represents a profound shift in perspective. It's a move from a mindset of resistance, of fighting against what is, to a mindset of acceptance, of embracing the totality of our experience. It connects directly back to the Stoic concept of living in accordance with nature, recognizing that adversity, loss, and change are inevitable parts of life. It also reinforces the idea of virtue as the only good, finding meaning and purpose not in external circumstances, but in our response to them. It's about recognizing that even in the midst of financial challenges, we have the power to choose our attitude, to cultivate inner resilience, and to find meaning in our experience. It's a radical and empowering philosophy, a testament to the enduring wisdom of Stoicism. But while amor fati is a powerful concept, providing a guiding principle for navigating life's challenges, it's also essential to have concrete, actionable practices that we can implement in our daily lives. Let's move on to exploring a Stoic toolkit of practical strategies you can put to work immediately. Amor fati represents a profound shift in perspective. It's a move from a mindset of resistance, of fighting against what is, to a mindset of acceptance, of embracing the totality of our experience. It connects directly back to the Stoic concept of living in accordance with nature, recognizing that adversity, loss, and change are inevitable parts of life. It also reinforces the idea of virtue as the only good, finding meaning and purpose not in external circumstances, but in our response to them. It's about recognizing that even in the midst of financial challenges, we have the power to choose our attitude, to cultivate inner resilience, and to find meaning in our experience. It's a radical and empowering philosophy, a testament to the enduring wisdom of Stoicism. But while amor fati is a powerful concept, providing a guiding principle for navigating life's challenges, it's also essential to have concrete, actionable practices that we can implement in our daily lives. Let's move on to exploring a Stoic toolkit of practical strategies you can put to work immediately. Think of this toolkit as your daily armor against the pervasive anxieties surrounding money and material possessions. These aren't just theoretical exercises. They're practical tools designed to reshape your perceptions, manage your desires, and cultivate inner peace, regardless of your bank balance. We'll explore several key practices, each building upon the Stoic principles we've discussed, and each designed to be integrated into the rhythm of your everyday life. First, and perhaps most fundamentally, is daily journaling. This isn't about simply recording events. It's about engaging in a structured self-inquiry, a Stoic self-assessment. Each day, dedicate time to reflect on your thoughts, actions, and judgments, specifically in relation to financial matters and external validation. Ask yourself, what judgments did I make today about my financial situation or possessions? Were these judgments aligned with Stoic virtues with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance? Did I succumb to envy or comparison? Did I prioritize external validation over internal virtue? What could I have done better more stoically? This isn't about self-criticism. It's about honest self-awareness, the foundation of all Stoic practice. Next, let's incorporate the practice of gratitude. This is a direct countermeasure to the hedonic treadmill, the insatiable desire for more that fuels so much financial anxiety. Each day, list at least 3 things you're grateful for and specifically focus on non-material aspects of your life. Your relationships, your health, your skills, your opportunities for growth, the beauty of the natural world. This isn't about ignoring your financial realities. It's about shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have, cultivating contentment and undermining the constant craving for more. Now, let's address goal setting. The Stoics weren't opposed to ambition, but they emphasized the importance of aligning our goals with our values and focusing on effort rather than outcome. Use the SMART framework: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, but with a Stoic twist. Ensure your goals are aligned with your core values, your virtuous nature. Focus on the process, the effort you put in, rather than the external validation or financial reward you might receive. Remember the dichotomy of control. You can control your effort, your actions, your judgments. You cannot control the outcome. Another crucial tool is mindfulness meditation. This isn't about emptying your mind. It's about cultivating present moment awareness, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Even 5 to 10 minutes of daily practice can significantly reduce anxiety about the future, including financial worries, and improve your emotional regulation. Find a quiet space, focus on your breath, and simply observe your thoughts and sensations as they arise and pass away. This practice helps you detach from the constant stream of what-ifs and anxieties that often plague us, particularly concerning finances. Finally, let's integrate acts of service to others. This shifts your focus from self-centered concerns to the common good, fostering a sense of purpose and connection. Volunteer your time, help a neighbor, donate to a charity, but do so with a Stoic intention. It's not about the scale of the act. It's about the intention behind it, the cultivation of virtue, the recognition of our shared humanity. These practices, consistently applied, cultivate the Stoic virtues, reduce our attachment to external validation, and foster inner peace and resilience. This is not a quick fix, it's a journey. But the journey will prove that enduring happiness cannot come from financial security, and that inner peace is an attainable goal. But that's not all. The external pressures of the world make cultivating that mindset difficult. Societal messaging linking success and happiness to material possessions is pervasive and powerful. This messaging taps into that core concept. This brings us to an often overlooked aspect of maintaining a Stoic mindset, actively resisting the societal pressures that promote materialism. It's a constant battle, a continuous effort to filter out the noise and maintain our focus on inner virtue. Think about it. We are bombarded daily with messages that equate happiness with material possessions. Advertising, social media, and consumer culture in general constantly reinforce the idea that we need more stuff to be happy, successful, and fulfilled. This fuels the hedonic treadmill, creating a sense of inadequacy and dissatisfaction, a constant striving for something more that always seems just out of reach. Advertising techniques are specifically designed to exploit our psychological vulnerabilities. They create artificial needs, associate products with status and happiness, and play on our fears of missing out. Social media, with its curated portrayals of wealth and success, exacerbates this problem. We're constantly comparing ourselves to others' often unrealistic and highly edited online personas, leading to envy and a feeling of inadequacy. The pressure to keep up with the Joneses, to constantly acquire new possessions to maintain social standing, is a relentless force in modern society. How often do you find yourself wanting something simply because someone else has it, or because you saw it advertised as the key to happiness? This isn't a coincidence. It's a carefully engineered system designed to keep us consuming. But here's the crucial point. We can actively resist these influences by applying Stoic principles. Mindfulness is key. Being aware of the messages we're exposed to and their potential impact on our thoughts and desires is the first step. Cultivating gratitude, as we discussed, helps counteract the feeling of inadequacy by focusing on what we have. Setting internal goals, focused on personal growth and virtue rather than external validation, provides a powerful alternative to the materialistic mindset. Decluttering, simplifying our lives, and reducing our attachment to material possessions is a practical way to counteract consumerism. Practice mindful spending. Before making a purchase, ask yourself, do I truly need this? Or am I buying it because of social pressure, advertising, or a fleeting desire? Distinguish between your genuine needs and your wants, recognizing that most of what we desire is not essential for a fulfilling life. This isn't about deprivation. It's about conscious choice, about aligning our actions with our values, about refusing to be swept away by the tide of consumerism. It's about reclaiming our autonomy and choosing to live a life guided by inner virtue, not external pressures. It's a radical act of resistance, a declaration of independence from the materialistic mindset that dominates our society. And since the pursuit of external validation drives so much of our material desires, and since relationships are so often a key area for such external validation, it's also important to apply these Stoic principles to our interpersonal connections. The truth is, many people seek validation through relationships, unconsciously looking for others to fill a void or boost their self-esteem. This is the antithesis of a Stoic approach. The Stoics understood that authentic connection comes not from seeking external validation, but from cultivating virtue within ourselves and extending that virtue to our interactions with others. This means practicing empathy, understanding that others are also navigating their own struggles and imperfections. It means accepting that we cannot control other people's actions or opinions, only our own responses. It means focusing on our own virtue in every social interaction, striving to be just, courageous, wise, and temperate, regardless of how others behave. Think about your daily interactions. How often do you find yourself seeking approval or validation from others? How often do you react defensively when someone criticizes you, taking it as a personal attack rather than an opportunity for self-reflection? The Stoic approach is to cultivate inner resilience, to be grounded in our own sense of virtue, so that we are less dependent on external approval. It's about recognizing our shared humanity, approaching others with compassion and understanding, and striving to build relationships based on mutual respect and shared values, not on a need for validation. This leads to more authentic and fulfilling connections, free from the anxieties and insecurities that arise from constantly seeking external approval. It allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, appreciating them for who they are, not for what they can do for our ego. This is the foundation of truly meaningful relationships, relationships that enrich our lives and contribute to our overall well-being, independent of any material gain or external validation. And with that established, we're ready to draw all these strands together. Let's continue to the conclusion, where we'll recap the journey and finalize the Stoic path to liberation from the pursuit of happiness through money. And so, as we reach the culmination of this exploration of Stoicism and the pursuit of happiness, it's time to synthesize the wisdom we've uncovered. We've journeyed through the dichotomy of control, understanding the crucial distinction between what lies within our power, our judgments, actions, and perceptions, and what lies outside of it, including our financial circumstances. We've embraced virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance as the sole true good, the foundation of lasting fulfillment, independent of material wealth. We've practiced negative visualization, premeditatio malorum, not to dwell on misfortune, but to build resilience and appreciate the present. We've delved into the transformative power of perception, recognizing that our interpretation of events, not the events themselves, dictates our happiness. We've explored living in accordance with nature, accepting the impermanence of all things and finding our place in the grand scheme of the cosmos. We've seen the striking parallels between ancient Stoic wisdom and modern psychological research, validating the enduring power of these principles. And finally, we confronted the advanced practice of amor fati, learning to not just accept, but to love our fate, embracing every challenge as an opportunity for growth. These are not isolated concepts. They are interconnected pillars of a powerful framework for living a meaningful and fulfilling life. Remember the initial question we posed: can money truly buy happiness? The pervasive societal message, the relentless pursuit of wealth as the ultimate goal, often leads to a profound sense of dissatisfaction, a constant chasing of a fleeting illusion. We explored the hedonic treadmill, the cycle of desire and temporary gratification, and the destructive nature of comparison and envy, fueled by the constant bombardment of materialistic messages. Stoicism offers a radically different path. It's not about rejecting financial security or material comforts. It's about refusing to depend on them for our happiness. It's about recognizing that true wealth, enduring fulfillment, lies not in external possessions, but within ourselves, in our character, our resilience, our capacity for virtue. It's a liberation from the relentless pursuit of more, a freedom to find contentment and joy in the present moment, regardless of our financial situation. And here's the ultimate insight. Stoicism isn't simply a philosophy for enduring hardship or passively accepting what you can't change. It's a proactive framework for building a life of meaning, purpose, and genuine fulfillment, regardless of external circumstances. It's an active, empowering philosophy that equips you with the tools to navigate life's inevitable challenges, including financial ones, with wisdom, courage, and grace. It's not about denying the realities of the world. It's about choosing your response to those realities, cultivating an inner citadel of strength and resilience that cannot be shaken by external forces. It's a realization that frees you from the societal trap of equating money with happiness, allowing you to pursue a life guided by virtue, purpose, and genuine connection. Think about the broader implications. Imagine a society less driven by consumerism and materialism, less focused on external validation, and more on inner virtue. Imagine communities where individuals prioritize genuine connection, empathy, and compassion over the relentless pursuit of wealth. Imagine a world where Stoic principles, with their emphasis on resilience, self-awareness, and responsibility, are widely embraced, leading to a more just, equitable, and fulfilling existence for all. This isn't a utopian fantasy. It's a potential reality that begins with each individual's commitment to cultivating inner wealth, to living a life guided by Stoic wisdom. So, as we conclude, I want to leave you with a feeling of empowerment and a spark for action. The Stoic path is not a passive acceptance of fate. It's an active embrace of life's challenges as opportunities for growth and the cultivation of inner virtue. You have the power to choose your response to external circumstances, including financial ones. You can cultivate inner peace and lasting fulfillment, regardless of your bank balance. The Stoic path leads to a life of genuine meaning, a life rich in purpose, resilience, and authentic connection. How will you use Stoic wisdom to cultivate a more meaningful life, independent of financial pressures? What small step can you take today practicing gratitude, journaling, reframing a negative thought, extending kindness to another to begin your journey on the Stoic path? Share your thoughts, your experiences, and your questions in the comments section below. Your insights might inspire someone else to embrace this transformative philosophy. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from this exploration of Stoicism. The pursuit of wealth may be a never-ending chase, but the path to true happiness, the Stoic path, is always